Hey, what's happening everyone? Sir James from Gamerfuzion.com, and in today's video I'm here to provide you with my review for Samurai Warriors 4 Empires, which is pretty much an alternate take of the events that happened during Samurai Warriors 4. In this game, it's using the same historical landscapes as the setting for this strategy-focused game, where you have the opportunity to create your own character, just like back in Samurai Warriors 4, where you basically serve among the lower ranks of any army that you choose in the beginning as you rule and dominate the entire empire. Now, going over the graphics, visually not much has changed here, which doesn't mean it's a bad thing because everything is still nicely detailed with the structures and the landscapes and of course the character models of each individual character, especially during the character customization. And of course my personal favorite is when you have two officers that come together to unleash a double super. When you have everything set in motion, it still plays well, and of course visually it's impressive. But other than that, not much is a big change from Samurai Warriors 4 to Empires. Now, to go over the initial gameplay, this is more focused on strategy than a hack and slash. However, during the initial combat, it is focused on hack and slash, but when you're not in combat, you actually get to control a wide portion of your castle and make all kinds of different demands. Demands such as, do you want to help replenish the military in which you lost during your previous battle? Do you want to help increase your officers' activities such as leadership? You could also seek guidance with your console and to try to get an idea where you should attack, where you should invest in, and so forth. Do you want to tax your people or not? So there's a lot of different things to take into consideration, and as often you're going to find that you have to help keep in demand of the supplies, because if you want to make a larger attack, you're going to have to make sure you have enough currency and supplies to support that attack. If you don't, you're going to be sitting there for quite a long time taxing your own people, which also at the same time can hurt your initial leadership. So there's a lot of different things to take into consideration, which is really hard to cover all of it. However, they did add a new feature called Residential Administration, which offers a view into the character's domestic activities, which I thought was quite nice. And of course, there's also periodic cutscenes that may happen every so often. For example, there's one where my general at the time was questioning an officer, which is a female officer, and basically this whole interaction was the fact that my slippers were warm, and apparently this female officer sat on my slippers during the winter to keep them warm when I went to go use them. So it's little moments like that. I chuckled a bit here and there, like over slippers, but just little interactions here and that kind of makes things feel lively instead of empty at the same time, because you kind of feel an attachment, a bond to all the officers that you help recruit that have been part of your main team, or even if you execute or release them at any given time. There's a lot of things that you have to really take into consideration. Also, one of the things I do like is that there's a little bit of a nemesis program that happens here, where during an initial battle you may have a condition where an enemy officer will call you out in battle, and that is basically going to be your nemesis. So just little activities like that just kind of help bring this game to life. And with everything that take into effect, including the standardized gameplay of the original Dynasty Warriors 4, everything is nicely detailed. And of course, one of the things I like during the initial combat is being able to execute commands with your officer, and you could switch between them at any time during battle. So if you find, something happening on the far right or far left that you really need to address as quickly as possible, you can easily switch to that officer. Of course, sometimes you're going to get little events where you control a certain officer and you have to either do like a double team kill or help defend a couple locations or take over stuff. By completing that, you're going to get bonus experience for that specific officer at the same time. And of course, you could also issue commands such as being able to go on a full charge to the enemy HQ. You could have them issue a defense order in terms of defending a specific zone, or you could have them free roam and let them do whatever it is that you want. But technically, there is a lot of activity to do, and during the initial conquest, you're going to find yourself there for hours before you conquer everything. So you got to keep in mind, you got to make sure that you have enough gold, enough supplies. You got to make sure that your loyalty is up and making sure everyone's happy if you want to conquer everything as quickly as possible. But like I said, you're going to find yourself grinding out quite a bit, and of course defending aspects as well. But again, everything about the gameplay, I have nothing to complain about, was top notch. Now, as far as the sound aspect goes, the game is using the original Japanese voice actors, so if you're hoping for an English option, you're not going to find it here. And of course, as always, you have that really awesome techno music that happens to play during the Samurai Warrior titles, including the Dynasty Warriors games. And of course, the soundtrack has always been one of my personal favorite when it comes to these games. Just being able to listen to something like really good while you're hacking away and killing thousands and thousands of soldiers and officers during your initial battle is always a good experience. But again, the sound department is top notch and I have no complaints. Now, going over the game's lifespan, this game definitely offers some replayability due to the fact that there's a lot of things to do, and not only that, just to conquer in the entire territory is going to take you beyond hours to complete due to the fact that resources at times can be scarce and you have to kind of pick and choose during your leadership skills. Do you want to replenish your troops? Do you want to set up defensive areas, because you never know when the enemy is going to attack, and if you're not prepared, you're often going to lose territories as well, including some of your officers that you worked so hard to either upgrade or recruit into your initial army. But again, in terms of lifespan, there's definitely a lot of replayability here and something that's going to keep you entertained for hours if not days. Now, going over the innovation, I can't really make the direct comparison between Samurai Warriors 3 Empires and 4 due to the fact that I never got the chance to play number 3, and I've only played one of the Empire games a long time ago. I think it was either number 2 or number 1. But ever since the last one that I played up until now, there's definitely been a big innovation between then and now, because back then the choices and all that wasn't as in depth as it was in today's standards, and I think as long as they keep adding elements to this to kind of make things more lifelike and where the choices you make do matter, then I think we're going to have something really great in the near future. But in the end, I'm going to give this game a 9 out of 10. There was some minor bugs here and there, but not to the point where it's game breaking, or with a simple patch you could easily fix them. But then again, like I said, a 9 out of 10 is what I'm giving it. But if you guys have any questions, let me know in the comment section down below, and I'll see you guys next time.